Chavra, if you can open up the Kuntras, the booklet, to page 53. And before we look at inside, I want to just bring right now our hearts to a place, not that it's even needed to, being in this Makom Kadosh V'Nora, this mountain that's unfortunately one of the holiest mountains in the whole world. In the last few years in Elul, many of us have gone on these pilgrimages to the Ukraine, davening by the Baal Shem Tov, by Rabbi Nachman, Rabbi Levi Yitzchak Berditchev, Rabbi Nassan and Breslov. And you all know the famous story how when someone came to Rabbi Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, I think he asked him, should he go to Meron or should he travel? I don't even know, asked him where he asked him to travel, to go daven by kivrei tzadikim. So Rabbi Shlomo Zalman Auerbach sent him right here to this mountain. He says, what do you need? Where are you going? We're sitting here, you're sitting right next to, I'm sitting a little bit away from, if you look at the faces on these matzevot. Look at these kids. 18-year-old, 19-year-old boys and girls, little boys and girls, who have enabled us to do what we do every single morning. This morning in Tanya Shir, before we started learning, I don't know who was there right at the start, but we stopped for a second. We said, wait a second. We're living in Eretz Yisrael, starting our mornings off learning the Alter Rebbe. Rega. Take a second out of the rush of life and acknowledge it's huge. It's just a massive bracha. But with that bracha came a price that only Eliyahu Hanavi and Mashiach ben David are going to be able to answer why such a price had to be taken. Many of us have loved ones on this mountain. I don't know how many of you knew anyone that's buried here. Menachem and I know a few. This is the place where life stops at a certain spot. And it's also the place where for others life actually begins. It's hit a chord. People that have come here to this mountain for unfortunate circumstances walk out of here and basically, like Rabbi Sasson told us the other day, they start understanding why they should live and what they should be living for. So needless to say, coming here any day of the year is extremely, extremely, extremely important. But Dafka, we wanted to come here if our whole purpose is showing up ready for the new year. To live a life of Hakarat HaTov is a key element of Tshuvah. Key element of Tshuvah. These precious Chayalim that are buried right here, Kedoshei Elyon, every morning that we're learning, these guys and girls were killed so we could learn. Pashut. They were killed, our children are growing up learning Hebrew, learning how to talk to Hashem in Lashon HaKodesh. These 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-olds, it's their schus. It's Pashut their schus. And you know what the craziest thing about it is? Most of them, while they were doing what they were doing, did not think of themselves as anybody holy, doing something holy. When we do a mitzvah, we start getting excited. Wow, maybe I'm becoming a little bit holy, right? Maybe now I'm becoming better. I'm becoming holier. These young chevra, you think they were thinking, wow, I'm protecting my brothers and sisters with my body and I'm willing to be killed? It's making me holy? That's why the tzadikim say the highest level of holiness is when you are completely, not just unaware, but you're not concerned about if you're becoming more holy or not. It's that you're in that zone of olam ha'asiyah, of being active, of actively living out a life of kedusha without even thinking about how holy am I becoming or not. This chevra, stop right now in the street, we don't have to come here. Stop right now, stop a group of 5 chayalim or chayalot at the age of 18, 19, 20, Giluim Nikim, doesn't matter what it is. Ask them, so do you guys think you're holy? You guys think you're holy? They'll laugh in your face. Ma ze holy? Ani oseh et ha'avodah sheli. I'm doing my job. Well, if that's how they're acting, and these tzadikim and tzadikot, these chayalim and chayalot, were just doing their job, we come here to say thank you, to say I'm sorry for not having enough hakarat hatov, to do tshuvah over that, and also to take upon ourselves to wake up, to pashut wake up, which is what lishma kol shofar is all about. Truth is, before we see inside here, there's 4 lines in the Ish Kodesh from the Piasetzner that we mentioned. We mentioned this on Tisha B'Av, and we're going to be singing it inside right now. We've been learning so much from Rav Klonim Kalman Piasetzner, Zchutei Hagen Aleinu, from the Heilige Ish Kodesh, who was killed, who was murdered by the Nazis, Yimach Shemam V'Zichram, living a life of Kedusha, living a life of holiness. If you look at the second paragraph where it's underlined, I thank Reb Moshe Rothschild for pointing this piece out to me. this next 4 lines are going to explain to us how ma nora hamakom hazeh, how holy the places that we're standing on. Ve'efshar ki ita b'sifrei kvod kedushat Adonenu Avinu b'morenu, like we learned yesterday, zecher tzadik v'kadosh livracha lechayei ha'olam haba. He's referencing, Beish Kodesh is referencing to 2 different lines of his lineage. Do you remember yesterday we learned what those 2 lines were? One of them, he was directly descendant of, do you remember? Very good, the Noam Elimelech. And on the other side, the Mor Vashemesh. Remember we learned that he's named after the Mor Vashemesh. Reb Klonim was Kalman Epstein, I think his name was. So he says basically it's brought down in my Zaydas farm like this. שהמוסר נפשו בעד ישראל גדול הוא מן המוסר נפשו בעד Hashem levad. We have this concept that's called to die al Kiddush Hashem. You can die just for Kiddush Hashem, only just for the name of God, meaning if someone comes to you and says, bow down to this idol. So we have a concept of Avodah Zarah, that we cannot do that, and you have to be killed for something like that, right? That's a very high level, to die al Kiddush Hashem. But that's just over Hashem. He's saying over here, Hamoser nafsho be'ad Yisrael. But when you die al Kiddush Hashem, while you're saving another Jewish life, or while you're trying to protect another Jewish life, gadolhu, that's even more exalted. V'arei zeh kemi shemoser nafsho. Why is that more exalted? Because it's like someone that's moser nafsho, someone that's giving his life, be'ad ben hamelech, for the sake of the son of the king. Shero'im mizeh. What do we see when someone's willing to give his life for the son of the king, and not just for the king itself? שרואים מזה כשכל כך גדולה אהבתו למלך, שלא בלבד שבשבילו מוסר נפשו, רק גם בשביל בנו מוסר נפשו. What a Torah. I don't even know if I have to translate this. I think you guys get this very clearly. You're willing to die for the Mele, someone, to die for the king, I can understand. Eish Kodesh is saying, that's how we think for Hashem. And our concept of God is like, the closer I am to God, the less I could deal with people. And like I always tell you so often, my favorite quote from Reb Shlomo is that he said, how do you know if you're getting closer to God? Physically, the higher you fly, the further you become from every human being in the world. Literally, when I'm on a plane and I'm flying, the higher I ascend, physically, the further I am from every single person. Spiritually, it's the other way around. This has been mamish, it's what I think about day and night. It's such a hard test to really believe it, to really take this in. Spiritually, the higher you fly, the closer you become to every single person in the world. So what he's saying over here, to die just for God alone, and it's just between you and God because it's one of the things of not disgracing God's name, that's the highest in the world. But it's not. There's something even higher. Dying for the Son of God, for the Son of the King, that you care so much about the Son of the King, that shows how much you really love the King. We're surrounded by people here, by kids. Each and every one of them knew that when they put on those madim, those uniforms, that what they're basically saying, without saying in words, is, I am willing to get killed for the Son of the King. It's not just for Hashem. It's for the children of Hashem. But this is also a place where something really, really, the Gemara says, it says that when there are a lot of shayla, there's a machlokas in the Gemara, so it says that when there's no answer, so they say the word teiko. We all know this Torah. Teiko, I was very confused when I first made Aliyah. You play a soccer game here for 90 minutes, it could be 0-0. Very interesting choice of sports, right? But when they say kama kama, like how much is it? So if it's a tie, whether it's 00, 22, 44, so they always say teko. And I was always wondering, why are they using an Aramaic? Why are they using a concept of the Gemara to tell me what the score is? And the teko became a tie. But we all know that teko comes from this concept, Rashi Tevot, Tishbi Yetaretz Kushiyot Ve'Sheilot, basically. That Eliyahu HaNavi, Eliyahu HaTishbi, he will come and give answers to all the Sheilot, all the questions of the world. Do you know where Eliyahu HaNavi is going to come first? On a level of energy, if we were more in tune with energy, and we know we're doing a lot of trippy things these days, especially in Piasetznet, but do you understand, on a level of energy, what's taken place on this mountain? One massive, massive, painful question mark above, asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu, even if we makabel, even if we accept this, asking Hashem, why? Why do mothers have to come here and ask God, why does my life have to stop from this moment on a certain level? You could be at a funeral here and hear cries and shrieks like you've never heard before. And sometimes you come to this place and you actually don't necessarily hear shrieks. There's like a silent, what's called silent scream, where there's absolute silence. Doesn't even, being able to utter a sound almost seems meaningless. So if you look back in the Choveret now, on page 53, we're kind of now already beginning our next sugya that we're going to be learning. And right now, I know it's not, we're not supposed to be doing a lot of mitzvahs here, because it's called Lag Lameis. That's why we talk in our tzitzis. We're not learning a Chabura here right now. This is not considered our learning. It's not considered anything but really davening over what we're learning right now in the Ma'amad of Kedoshei Elyon, in the presence of such holy tzadikim, so that we understand what it means to daven by kivrei tzadikim. Because this is what we're doing here. Davening by kivrei tzadikim. Reb Tzadok HaKohen says, Kol shofar hu tza'akat halev shel Bnei Yisrael Hashem Yitbarach. Really, the voice of the shofar is the crying of the heart. Tza'akat halev Hashem Yitbarach. Vehu kol belo chituch dibur beotiyot, rak kemashmiya kol hamaya levad mitoch hametzar. You all know that we say, the first pasuk we say before Tkiat Shofar is Mina Metzar Karati Ka Anani B'Merchav Ka. What does that mean? I'm calling out to you from the narrowness. I'm calling out to you from the from the constraints of life, of what that's all about. When you call out for real, from that place inside, there's no words. It's not even, sometimes it's not even a sound. It might be what Rabbi Nachman refers to as Ze'akat Admama. Ze'akat Admama, how do you say Ze'aka? Ze'aka is scream, Ze'aka. What's like the next level after Ze'aka? What would you say?
It'd be like shriek or
yeah.
Almost like
So what's She'aga? How would you say that in English?
She'aga is roar.
Yeah. Let's go with that for a second. The silent roar. The silent roar. Tzadok HaKohen is saying you could have all these different, and we have our Baal Tokeh. Is Yossi here already? We have both our Baalei Tkiya here with us right now, that are going to be blowing the shofar for us in Rosh Hashanah. Talk about hachanot for a Baal Tokeh. Both of our Baalei Tkiya are here with us today. Ma'anachnu simple. At a certain point, you could have all the kavanas in the world. This place has had shofar blowing like more than probably any other place on the face of this earth. Mothers that have blown shofar, sisters and brothers that have blown shofar in their heart in this place. It's on the level of tza'akat halev, of the screaming of the heart. Things that have never, en dvarim kailu, these things, you cannot explain how to blow the shofar from this place. It's just called mina meitzar. It's not even a meitzar, it's smaller than an opening. It's almost like a non-opening over here. B'chol echad miYisrael, at the end of the third line, Reb Tzadok says, B'chol echad miYisrael ka'asher yargish cherdat hadin, when he feels the fear of din, of judgment, miyad tzo'ek libo la'Hashem yitbarach. Immediately, his heart starts to cry to Hashem. So I'm asking all of us right now, look around right now, look right behind you. Look right behind you. Look right in front of our eyes right now. Our brothers and sisters have to deal with a din in this world that never goes away until Mashiach comes. Never. In that place, there are no words. What are you going to start to sing? That's what Rav Tzadok is calling a tza'akat halev, when you feel the cherda of the din. So he says over here, he ends off, ha-mitzvah lishmoa et kol ha-shofar. The mitzvah is to hear that voice, is to hear that sound. Shekol echad yargish belibo, shebepnimiyuto, retzonenu la'asot retzoncha. That each person must feel in their inner chambers of their heart, deep down inside, at the end of the day, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, our ratzon is to do your ratzon. Hashem's ratzon is that everything should be Kol Yisrael arevim ze lazeh. Kol Yisrael, we have to have each other's backs. Want to understand, how do I do Tshuvah? How do I begin? Elul, how holy I am. Do you have your brother's back? Do you feel like you're doing anything in your life to have your brother's back? Retzonenu la'asot retzoncha. We want to do your ratzon, Hashem. We're standing on a mountain of a place of resting of a bunch of very precious children that had our backs. And in Shamayim, they have our backs. Because as high as you think the Baal Shem Tov and Moshe Rabbeinu are, these tzadikim, these chayalim, kedoshei elyon, we can't even fathom at what place next to Kisei HaKavod they are. And us connecting to their neshamas here, and crying to Hashem that we should wake up and have the privilege of having each other's backs, is a very proper way to continue our journey in Elul, and asking Hashem that we should actually hear what life is all about, that we should hear it. But today, we're seeing it. But if you close your eyes by these kvarim, and you just listen, the echoing of tzeakot alev, the echoes of the crying of the heart that has taken place here, the echoes are still, talk about hatokea letoch habor, and the echo, the kol havara, the echoing of the pain of mothers and fathers over here in this mountain is never ends until Mashiach comes. This is where it's at. So he ends up here and he's saying, B'tkuyat shofar, ha'adam motzi rak hevel. Really, when a person blows shofar, the Baalei Tkiya, what are you actually letting out of your mouth? What's hevel? What's hevel? You guys know what Kohelet says? Hakol hevel havalim. So what does it mean, hevel? Like empty air almost. But hevel, he lets out that place. You know, if a Baal Tokeh is going to start thinking, okay, right now, through my mouth, I want the kavana of sheibana beisam, or anything with words, he's missing it. He's missing the point. Me'ala kol, it's a chokhmah, they say about tkiyat shofar. Doesn't just mean you have to be artistic to know how to blow shofar, which you do, but it means it's a chokhmah to go to a place that's me'ala milim, and to actually express something. It's a chokhmah. It takes a chokhmah to do that. To go to a place of actually trying to levater something, of expressing something, that doesn't even have words, which is very similar to what happens to us Jewish people when we sing a nigun. What am I saying? I'm shuckling. I'm like this. What's happening to me? What's happening to me? A lot of hevel is coming out. I know I'm expressing something. I feel something. Not quite sure what it is because there are no words. Nothing's limiting me. Nothing's limiting me. So therefore, we found it very, very appropriate to come here, to connect to the sound that we want to hear, the sound of real Chaim. On Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur and Aseret Yemei Tshuvah, we're going to be saying very important words. Zochreinu lechaim, melech chafetz b'chaim. Kadosh Baruch Hu, remember us for life. You're a king who desires us to be alive. You're a king who desires us to feel alive. V'kotvenu b'sefer ha'chaim, and then we ask, put me in the book of life, lemancha elokim chaim, for your sake. God, that's alive. And Dafka, we're coming here to a place that seems like it's just a place of death. But a Jewish cemetery, especially one like this, Har Hertzl, by the chelka of the chayalim, by the chelka of the soldiers, Mechila, if God forbid someone misunderstands what I'm about to say right now, and I would never say this in front of, if we were sitting with bereaved parents right now, but I know that the ones that know me understand what I'm about to say. Specifically one mother who just buried her son here about 6 weeks ago. In their giving their life, Bad Am Yisrael, they became eternally alive. Every Jew that lives in Eretz Yisrael and every Jew that lives outside the land has to come to this place and talk to Hashem from here. If they really want to ask Hashem, write me in the book of life to be alive. We're asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu in this place that every single day of my life in this world, that these neshamas are looking down at us and they're saying in Shamayim, look who I gave my lives for. Look at for what type of people I gave my life for. And then sing L'chaim Ribono Shel Olam. We all know that by the kever itself, not to get too spooky, but by the kvarim that are right behind you over here, the neshama has 5 levels, like Rav Sasson was speaking about, and like we referenced to this morning in the Tanya Shir. Without getting too involved in the depths of it right now, 5 levels are nefesh, ruach, neshama, chaya, yechida. The lowest level of this aspect of the soul is always around the kever, is always around the body. So if we're into souls, into connecting on a soul level, which hopefully we're always connecting to each other on a soul level when we're learning as we're fully living beings in this world, it's access to connect to these holy tzadikim on a soul level, on the lowest level of soul, right now by their kever, by their kvarim, by their graves. So, remember that place we spoke about yesterday? about not judging your thoughts and observing your thoughts, you don't have to worry about that up here. This place is almost like, yeah, even if you start to think, oh, I have to go do this, I have to, this place, this makom, the kedusha that's on this place is basically an invitation saying, come, live for real, live. Take care of your kepi, take care of your head, have rachmanis on your soul. Like the Alter Rebbe says that the first step of Tshuvah, he writes this in the Igeres Tshuvah. The Alter Rebbe says the first step, how does a person know if he embarked on a path of Tshuvah? If he's decided to have compassion on his own soul. That's the first level. By connecting ourselves to these holy tzadikim, up here on this mountain, we are saying to Hashem, here we are, choosing to have compassion on our own souls by connecting to that which is holy and important and meaningful in this world. Let's sing a nigun. If anyone wants to share anything that's going on in the heart right now, please, 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 just go for it. And afterwards we're going to have some time. You'll go there and please have me and my family in mind by these kvarim, especially by David Goloventzitz. Zecher Tzadik V'Kodesh Levracha L'Chayil Abba Hashem Yikom Damo, that's buried right over here. Menachem, do you know where Yosef is? Yeah, Yosef Goodman. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, there's plenty of places to go up here.
Kivrei Hashem Lishuascha
Hashem lishuascha kivisi. Tididai, dai, 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 dai. Ay, dai, 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 dom. Tidai, dai, dai. Ay, dai, dai. Oh, ay. Tidai, dai, 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 dai. Tidai, dai, dai. Tidai, dai, dai, ay, 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 tidai, tidai, dai, 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 di, tidai, dai, 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 di. Ay, 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 oh, oh. Tidai, dai, 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 di. Tidai, dai, 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 dai. Dai, 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 ay, dai, dai. Oh, ay. Tidida, da, da, ay, dai. Dai, 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 do. Dai, 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 ay, dai, do. These Chayalim did what they did b'shem Kol Yisrael. We're here right now b'shem Kol Yisrael. Everything we learned in the summer was the mitzvah of Ahavat Yisrael, in the name of all of Am Yisrael. Please, when you go and daven right now and say some tehillim by the kvarim, please do it in the name of all of our friends and family that live all over the world. Let's bring everyone's conscious and subconscious energies here right now and make a really, really strong Kabbalat Ol Malchut Shamayim, receiving upon ourselves the yoke of heaven, receiving upon ourselves Kol Yisrael Arevim Zeh Lazeh, to have each other's backs, and for that to manifest in any way, shape, or form that it does. There's no rules here. There's no dictating how you're supposed to feel that. It's a Kabbalah in the heart. It's a reception. It's receiving that in our hearts. And b'schus our hitkashrut here to the kedusha that's here, we should be privileged to hear the shofar that reminds us of Akedat Yitzchak, the shofar that reminds us of Matan Torah, and please God, the shofar that will usher in the coming of that great day, of the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu, b'mhera b'yameinu, amen. If anyone wants to share something before you go, if anyone has a thought they want to share it, or if you're all good to just go on your own right now, we'll go for about 15-20 minutes around here, and we'll come back. All right. to all our friends and family that are with us right now, wherever you are, whether you're here in Israel, in the States, or wherever you, South Africa, Australia, I just want you all to know that our Chabura really has taken it upon ourselves, that our learning and whatever it is that we're trying to grow is really with all you in mind, B'Shem Kol Yisrael. It was very important. It was extremely, extremely important for us to bring you all with us this morning in this morning's session, which is something we've wanted to do for a very long time. Getting ready for Rosh Hashanah Dafka in this very, very holy place of Mount Herzl. Some of the Chabura were asking, I'm a Kohen, how am I up here? We found a spot that's not underneath any tree and that's far enough from the Kvarim so we could sit and discuss. My Chavra now are going in my name because I can't go to the actual Kever. But please know that we have all of you in mind, literally. And I think if we just keep on consciously asking for life, but we're doing it on the level of being a guarantor for each other, like these holy, holy tzadikim that we're in front of right now, acted as guarantors for us on a very olam hazeh, on a very in this world level, obviously in the highest level. Hopefully that chain that we could create between all our souls could become strengthened. We have a very, very big soul that's in the midst of elevating right now during his Tshuvah. He's on another mountain. Shalom, Reb Shalom Alav Shalom. He's on a mountain, that direction, Mount of Olives. I'm sure he's probably working harder than ever. But just his soul being a light of us connecting our neshamas together and to realize that we're really in this together. We're mamish in this together. But we wanted to make sure you all know that you're all with us right here. B'Shem Kol Yisrael.